Hello, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Farmer Big Z, and welcome back to episode 37 of my challenge series on Mars the Mission. Today we pick up in February, and I thought I'd be away for a little longer, but as always, there are things to be done. So we started off by heading over to the BGA and getting our slurry, roughly 110,000 liters of it, and our manure, one full bin with still roughly 20,000 liters of manure left in that pile, over to the BGA to process into electricity, I guess methane, then electricity, and into some good old money. Next thing we have to take care of is our grass mowing. Now, the grass isn't quite ready. As you can see, it's stage 3 of 3, and it's not fully grown. However, in our bays here, you can see that our hay bay is essentially empty. With under 2,000 liters of hay ready to go, I wanted to bump those numbers up, and I figured we might as well cut the grass that we have, start fresh, start new, next month with a fresh 1 of 3 growing cycle. Now, I do know, because I did a little check over in the, what field is that? The sheep pen, yeah, the sheep pen. I took a look over at the sheep pen, and we do have some old wool pallets hanging out on the grass. We moved some off of our spawn areas to make a bit of room for more to spawn in. However, I just put them on the grass instead of putting them somewhere a bit more useful and a bit more out of the way. So what we need to do is we need to walk all the way over to the beehive area and pick up our tractor with the trailer flatbed and the forklift. So I'm going to do that now, and I'll be right back, and we'll head over and we'll get some bales quickly moved before we get a little bit of mowing done. I'll join up with you guys in a bit. Okay, so these are our bales in question now. It's only 3 double stacks, or I guess 3 double stacks. Ooh, too low. What is going on here? Those forks could be a bit more. There we go. Now let's just find an area off of the grass to leave these. Ooh, I am tipping forward. Yeah, I can't even steer right now. Okay. Ooh, come on. Let's just leave them there. That should be good enough. So one thing I remembered, or I guess one thing I forgot, but I'm remembering now that I keep forgetting to do, is I keep forgetting to lime and fertilize all of my grass fields. Especially, oh come on. Especially now that we are mowing the grass early before it's fully grown. We're going to see a little bit of an impact, or a significant enough impact, to our mowing operations. Oh, this is gonna kill me. This is gonna be awful. Come on. Okay, let's just do these one by one. Okay, so now with those finally out of the way, I can go scoot this trailer somewhere that won't be an issue. I'll probably just leave it outside of the dome here, and we will get to mowing. Why do I keep doing that? So there is one thing that I know I'm forgetting. So we moved our slurry and our manure over to the BGA. We got rid of the bales that are sitting on our grass, and now we're about to go mow the grass. Mow and Ted. We're gonna make one field silage, 2 fields just like last time into hay. I don't know what it is, but I have a big need for hay right now. I don't know if it's just the amount of animals we have in our cow and our sheep pens. Because I feel like beforehand we were pretty good on hay and then we were able to make a lot of silage, but that is not the case right now. So yeah, I decided 2 more fields of hay, 1 field of silage. We should be able to use a good amount of that silage in our cow pen either way. And then what else do we need to do? I'll figure that out. Where am I? Yeah, right here. I'll figure that out. But I'm going to get this mowing done. I'm going to ted these fields, bale them up, and transport them over to where they need to be. I will see you either at the end of that process or sometime in between that process. But hang tight, sit back, and let's get this grass field mowed. Okay, so we are all mowed, tedded, and baled up, and our last and final total, yeah, 22 bales. How many of these are silage? So that's 6, 8, yeah, 8 silage, making the next 14 of them are hay. So cool. So as you can see, where am I going? I missed my turn. So let me recap. We baled 8 silage bales and 14 straw bales. I grabbed my front loader, and I just picked up 3 so I can keep these ones separate and deliver them straight to their sheep pens. So I'm going to hook these off and get them where they need to be. Let's drop these here real quick. Something else I always forget to do is this CSZ pack has the ability to turn on and off. Let me just bump these real quick. There we go. Turn on and off the transport or operating mode. So before, I think that was last episode, maybe the episode even before that, when I was accidentally picking up bales that I didn't want to, there's a way to properly avoid that issue. So like right now, I'm in transportation mode, I believe, and I could run into bales, push them around as I need. Now if I want to pick it up, press the transportation mode. It's kind of the same way you pick up bales in the auto loader trailer, and then boom, you're good to go. Now, it may still be a little tricky to determine exactly which bale you want to pick up. I don't know if it goes by closest or wherever the hit boxes are, but it's doable, and if you do it properly, it's pretty useful. So let's drop off this last bale over at this third and final sheep pen. You can see that our wool is still spawning in nicely. No big worries with that, but I don't know if I'm going to need to move them a second time or move some off the spawn area a second time. We have, let's call it 3.5 more bales available to be spawned in each of the sheep pens. However, we need to hold on to the trailer until May. I believe May is when the honey is ready to be sold. So let's take a quick look. Honey, March. Oh, okay, never mind. We will be fine. We're actually good to sell them now because that price is, as always, I wonder why it keeps doing that. That price is over the price of our highest expected totals in March. So we will get these bales put away where they need to be, especially in the cow pen where our hay is almost empty, and we'll go sell some honey. We're not expecting much from our honey. If I can flip back to that time-saving stock menu while my cruise control is on, we're only expecting roughly 26,000, so maybe with a bonus 30, but not much, so we will just we'll be good with it. Now, similar to the wool I had laying around the sheep pen, I need to make sure that when I put these bales down, the grass bales that are currently wrapped for silage aren't blocking anything up. So let's, if I can do a sharp 180 here and just curl this right into there. Perfect. Cool. So let's shoot these down. Straighten up a little bit. Yeah, that should be good. Shoot them down that way, and let's go get rid of this trailer, pick up one extra bale we have laying around in our bale storage area, and let's go get some hay into these pens. Okay, how close to empty did we actually get? Hey, 132 liters. So in 20 game minutes, which turns out to be roughly 6.5, 7 real life minutes, our hay would have been empty. But not a big deal. They have a ton of TMR in their lanes. But this way we are just preserving the future need of any heartache. So let's get this loaded. If I did count correctly, we should be able to put 6 bales in each. That doesn't look right for some reason. But we'll see. Maybe there's a wrapped bale blocking my view. Yeah, perfect. We have 6 more. It's going to be kind of challenging to get the bales I want, but with the... I shouldn't call it a new trick, but the trick we just spoke about of enabling transportation mode and operation mode, we should be able to get this done. Oh, not what I wanted to do. Okay, so at least I know I'm now in operation mode. Let's go transportation mode, so I don't accidentally pick that one up again. Now, let's see. Can I bump this silage? Nope. See? Okay, now I'm in trans... Oh, see, I'm not on my correct tool. That would help. Let's drop this down. I should be able to pick that one up pretty easy. And if I scoot around the edge here... Perfect. Okay, so that worked out perfectly. We have just 1 bale, almost half a bale, because I think a full hay bale is 9,000. Yeah, straw is 11, hay is 9, and silage, once finished, is 7.5. So let's see, how much more straw could we use? We could use another full bale, and then we don't have any silage bales, so we will hold off on that. So I'm going to get this this straw bay all wrapped up, or not wrapped up, but all filled. And I'm going to go ahead and start grabbing my sprayers. It's been a while. Actually, I'm going to grab my lime. I like liming first, getting rid of that white powder field at the end after I fertilize. So I'm going to grab 2 straw bales, 1 for each of my cow pens. 2 straw bales, 1 for each of my cow pens. And then I will grab a limer, and I'll be right back. Okay, so we are back, and I figured I might as well show you guys something I don't think I've showed before. So this is my spraying process. Now, you may say, oh Z, this is something we've seen before. The struggle is real. However, I've slightly updated and changed the way I do things. So you can't see it now, but as I rise up, you can see that we don't just have our additional sprayer tank on the front. Typically, I would leave it off anyways, just because it makes it that much harder to navigate some of these tighter areas, especially if it's not a practical use. But this is the way I've I think I've only done it once actually, because truthfully, I don't keep up with spraying my fields anywhere near as much as I should. So, what I do, and the same thing applies in the the cow, sheep, and pig domes, is that I use my big 24-foot boom to spray down all the large areas, kind of like I just did. Then again, I go around, I close the big one, open the small one, and I just use that. I kind of do wish this this smaller boom was a little bigger. I think we have it at 10 meters or 10 feet, something quite small, and something that we could use a bit more of. And I do like to do kind of 2 solid passes, because this strip is just wide enough that I can't get both. Now, with lime, we're never truly gonna get a perfectly cleanly wiped lime field, just because of some of these corners, some of these edges, and there's nothing we can do about that. But if I do a little bit of an overspray, it allows me to get a cleaner overall product. And truthfully, I'm not using that much I'm not using that much extra fertilizer. Something you can also see with this fertilizer is that we do not have the fancy see and spray technology. So we are wasting a little bit of fertilizer, but in the grand scheme of things, it's not the end of the world, and it's definitely a lot less of a headache to maneuver this 24-foot boom. Hey, there we go. Our feeder is out and about doing its thing. So yeah, I do some passes here, I do some passes there, and then we get it all wrapped up. Now, I was also thinking, what was that other thing I needed to get done in the month of February? And at first I couldn't remember, but it was nothing. There was nothing else we needed to get done in the month of February. What I wanted to remind myself was to, once we're done here, which has taken a lot longer than I truly thought it would, we need to head to bed, figure out which crop we're planting, and then wake up in March and get those seeded down. So what have I decided to plant? Once again, we have 2 15-acre strips to plant, and then we also have 2 10-acre cubes to plant. So a good amount of land that is going to be seeded next month, and I've decided to do 1 field of potatoes. That allows us to cross our $1 million or 1 million liter mission crop threshold, and then also put down 2 more 15 acres of sunflowers and a third 10-acre field of sunflowers. So plenty of sunflowers going down. We are desperately trying to bump those sunflower numbers up. We won't get any more straw, and that might be an issue, but we are going to collect straw from wheat shortly, which is already planted in the chicken dome, and hopefully, as long as I don't sell it, I do believe it will last. We do have our bays full, so the only thing we're really looking to put straw in is going to be our actual cow bedding, and that will be used to keep creating manure, which we then load and pump into the BGA. So that's the plan. 1 field, 10 acres of potatoes, and then 3 more fields totaling 40 acres of sunflowers. Hopefully that should be good and a good plan to get things up and running, and we'll just keep pressing on. We'll just keep pressing forward. So that is all I have for this month. Once again, we're going to take a quick sleep until March, and we're just going to keep getting straight to it. Let's head on up, and I'll be back. Okay, so we're back, and it is still February. I got about halfway home, and I realized I forgot to sell my honey, which wouldn't have been the biggest issue. But then more importantly, I forgot to move all of the excess, what was that now? Excess, what is it? Excess wool. The excess wool that we had laying around. So I made a little U-turn, came back down to the working area, and I'm here grabbing some honey. I also wanted to show you guys something I've noticed with my auto-loading trailer. So I have a stack of 3 here, right? They're not full, but still a stack of 3 nonetheless. When I go to load into this auto-loading trailer, that tends to happen a lot. It only takes the lowest, what is going on here? It only takes the lowest hanging, that's gonna be difficult to sort. Roll you once. Oh. Roll you, come on, twice. There we go. So it only absorbs, it only takes in things that are attached to the forklift. So stacking by 3, or even stacking by 2 for that matter, doesn't really help this this trailer too much. I wish it just anything in its vicinity, it took up, it absorbed, but it does not. So that is something I just wanted to show. It also doesn't fully take, maybe that's a setting I would have to change. It also doesn't fully take partial pallets, which is not the end of the world. I can just put those in manually. And I do think that this trailer is still a big help, but just something I wanted to show and display to you all, just so that if you were thinking about using this exact trailer, you know exactly how it works. So I'm gonna park this up on this ramp, shut it down, strap it up, and then I will go get the semi-truck, which is not over here. That should be over in the cow dome after moving slurry. So I'll go take care of that, and I'll be right back once we get this honey closer to our sale point. Let's actually take a quick look to see how our bales are doing. 38%, not too bad. I find that they do ferment pretty quickly, which is great in terms of how quickly I'll be able to use them, but I did wish it was a little longer in making it a bit more realistic. Mind you, these are 1 month days, and I don't know realistically how fast silage does ferment, but I would imagine that to be longer. Something maybe I'll look into down the road. And why did I reverse? This is the wrong side of the trailer. Okay, let's go get this honey sold. We're not expecting much from the honey. I think the number was 56,000, so maybe 60,000 after our bonuses are kicked in. Honey, sorry, 26,000, maybe 30,000 once the bonuses are kicked in. So it really isn't that much, but we do want to focus on making room for our big, or one of our big money makers, wool. Yeah, wool is set to be ready to go in a few months, maybe in April, so in 2 months if this consistency of things being slightly... Whoa! Man, honey is heavy and it is making me tip. But yeah, so we should be good to go in a bit. Now let's flip this over to the left side, open up that curtain, and let's start selling some honey. Less than I expected. So that's about 28.5-ish. And I'm okay with that. It is still money in the bank, and I will be happy with it either way. We'll bring this over to the... I also gotta go get my forklift. The joys of not teleporting when you play. You gotta run around and go grab things. But it's how I like to play, although it is slightly frustrating. It is the restrictions I've imposed on myself, so I'm okay with that. One thing I guess I can talk about while I head on over to our wool areas and in our chicken... Man, I'm back on chickens. In our sheep dome, is that when I was liming, I accidentally knocked over some of our wool pallets. I'll show you guys those in a moment. Keep it on the left side, I can open that up. And yeah, I guess I didn't knock them over, I just nudged them all over to one side. So it shouldn't be too much of an issue, not as easy as it could have normally been. But yeah, these all got nudged over, so a lot of them aren't straight. But it is something I'll just have to pick up. Before I run over, let me do something before I forget. Pop that open. And I want to take... any type. Maybe that will also allow me to not necessarily need to get them one by one in there. But I'll run back over to my trailer, grab my forklift, bring it on back over here. And I'll take care of 1, 2, 3, and 4 piles of wool. You can also see that our grass is perfectly balanced with pH and all the way up to our desired nitrogen levels. But go for a little Martian jog, and I'll be right back. Okay, so there we go. For some reason, this is the only implement that I always, not an implement I guess, but the only tool, I guess it is maybe, nah, I'm not a farmer, but I believe that they save the word implement for things that are more farming machine based. But this trailer is the only tool, if I could call it that kind of works backwards. If I hit up on my keyboard, it makes the ramp go down, which always throws me off. And if I hit down, it makes it go up. Something pretty easy to remember, you would think, but one of those things that I'm always struggling to remember, and like a piece of bread that you drop on the ground that has jelly on one side, you always get it wrong, and it always does the thing you don't want it to do. 50-50 chances, typically, technically, but 100% of the time I get it wrong on the first try. Okay. Well, since none of these bales are tipped over on their side, it should be actually pretty easy. I do want to test and show you guys all one thing. Oh, see, there I go again. Putting it down when I want to put it up, or technically putting it up when I want to put it down. Okay, so let's jump on board, fire this up. Forks are at a good level. They're not really level, but at a good height. Let's level those out a little bit. There we go. Now, let's test. Since we have changed our accepted type, let's see if that makes any difference as to how these pallets load into our auto-loading trailer. Nope, none. At least I caught that one, so That's not too bad. Do a little reverse, do a little pull in, and we should have 2 perfectly stacked pallets. This is definitely not the group of, you know what? I'll use some from, those are super heavy and I don't want to drive that far. Let's try it over here. What could possibly go wrong? So the next thing I want to test is if I'm able to push these together. Those should be pushed. Nope, those are not pushed together. If I push these together, yeah, let's just do it in third person. If I push those together and I back out, lift up, and just grab 2 pallets, both on the forks, I think that should work and that should go in. Now it'll obviously be a lot easier if those were perfectly lined up, but yeah, that works. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get those done, and this is actually gonna be the end of this episode. I think, I'm not sure, but I think this episode probably going on for 30 minutes, 35, maybe even 40 minutes after I do some cleanup and some editing. And that's long enough. I think that's long enough for me and that's long enough for you guys. So I'm gonna call it here. We'll jump back in on March. Oh, this is gonna be a disaster. Either way, I'll take care of this off camera. But as always, I'm Farmer Bigsy. I want to thank you all for joining me on this challenge. We are moving along quite well. We have some planting to do next. We have some planting to do next episode, where we'll put down 40 acres worth of crop. But that's about it. I hope you're all having a great day. If you are enjoying this content and you are interested to see what the rest of this challenge looks like, please consider giving the video a like and the channel a subscription. I hope you're all having a good one, and I'll see you next episode. Come on, get on the forks.